Huddy Sports presents a live Huddy production. Keep up to date, huddysports.co.nz. Huddy Sports presents a live Huddy production.
Tēnā koutou katoa, no mai, haere mai, and welcome to Wellington College for this first 15 traditional between Wellington College and Napier Boys High School. Joining me in broadcast today is the one and only Adam Julian, who knows a lot about not only both schools but also Napier.
It's a real privilege to have Napier Boys High School in the capital this afternoon. The Sky Blues, founded in 1872, are one of New Zealand's most accomplished rugby schools. They've attended the national top four on a dozen occasions, most recently in 2022 when they lost the final to Hamilton Boys High School on a last play try. Napier were national champions in 2002. They produced more than 20 All Blacks and they contest the Super 8 competition, which they've won 3 times. This game stretches back to 1980. In 1980, John Lennon was assassinated, Ronald Reagan became the president, and the Welsh Rugby Union celebrated its centenary, and that's still going in light of the form of the Welsh team. This game has been played 41 times since then, and Napier have won on 24 occasions. Wellington not winning this game since they were last champions in the Premiership in 2016. That day, Rhys Plumtree, whose brother Tane now plays for Wales, was a prominent figure. The game ended in a pile-up over the Wellington College try line as Napier thrust hard for victory. With us in commentary this afternoon is Jimmy Lawler, and Jimmy, they built a scaffold tower for us today, and that's all your fault.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, it's a bit breezy here. So maybe hopefully the scaffolding doesn't collapse halfway through the commentary.
And Jimmy, take us through the changes in the Wellington College team from the last time we were here a fortnight ago, a 45-31 loss to a very accomplished Tauranga boys side, who last Saturday beat Auckland Grammar by a record score, staggering margin of 46-18.
Yeah, there was a staggering result there. I certainly didn't expect it. So the changes for this afternoon's game, we've got Loren starting at 12. We've got Rico, we've got Rico starting at 11, and we've got Shay, who's starting as well.
So 3 changes in the back line, which did function well against Tauranga boys. They scored 31 points. What might be the rationale behind those decisions, Jimmy?
Oh, I think it's just to give the boys an opportunity to showcase what they have, and also to make sure that we've got the players that are there. I think, and it's hopefully create a bit of rugby history today. Wellington
College toured Rotorua last week. They played a scenarios with Boys High. Tell us more about that trip and what the boys told you in class during the week.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun at camp. The one thing that I took away from it was pretty much every single one of them had a haircut, including a very own mullet man this afternoon. But they had a great time. And yeah, they did a lot on scenarios against Rotorua, and it can only bode well for the rest of the season.
The Sky Blue of Napier Boys High School, winners of the Super 8 3 times. Last year they were 4th. They had 2 memorable victories by 1 point against Rotorua Boys and Hastings Boys, their fiercest local rivals. Brad Hudson.
Well, Napier Boys, having lost to Wesley last week, we're looking to bounce back. Wellington College played, of course, Tauranga Boys 2-3 weeks ago, 45 points to 31, and they'll be looking to get the win today. Now, there's the trophy coming out onto the field, the Abner Trophy. Now, Jimmy Lawler, I believe that Wellington College haven't won that trophy for a while.
Yeah, I'm actually not too sure when the last time we won it was, but it's I think 2016 was probably the last time that we won it. But yeah, hopefully the boys can create a bit of history. They've trained really well during the week, and so hopefully that'll set the tone for this afternoon.
And here we wait as we'll take a break here as we'll sit back and listen to the Huckers. Here as we'll sit back and listen to the Huckers. Rousing huckers here at Wellington College. The ground, effectively known as the graveyard, is the venue for today's traditional. There's our referee team on your screens, folks. Referee today is Charlie Harris. He's a Premier referee, over 25 Premier games in the capital city, and he's effectively known as the young Sheldon lookalike of the Referees Association. And interesting fact, Adam, is that he was also in a men's netball team that played the Pulse last night in a match, and he'll be ably assisted by Andre Coburg and Lachlan Johns.
The Wellington Pulse men beat the Wellington Pulse women, and Charlie Harris contained Silver Ferns. He's a very accomplished operator. An air crash investigated during the week. You would have noticed in the haka party the second 15s were also present, and Jimmy, you watched that game.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was a very, very, very entertaining game. It was 26-14, I think, the final score to Napier. But the Wellington College team can definitely hold their heads up high.
So it'll be Napier boys that'll be kicking to the southern end of Wellington College. Wellington College to receive the ball as we wait for the whistle. This is got to be a blockbuster, folks. Napier boys and Wellington College. Charlie Harris gets this match underway. And it'll be centre 2 that kicks deep into the 22, into the clutch of Archie Sims, who's been bundled back 5 metres inside the 22. Faulkner firing it out centre field. That is a good charge for Wellington College. Spreading out wide now, and it's an early penalty as Napier boys just caught rushing just in front of the breakdown there, Adam.
A brutal collision in the first contact. Riley Malay meeting his rival captain Archie Sims strongly. Malay is year 13 in jersey 2 for Napier Boys High School, highly regarded player.
Archie Sims kicking this out towards the western touchline. It's got a healthy distance on it, and that will be a line out just past halfway, directly in front of this massive scaffold tower that we're in. Many thanks to the Mayor Tialona at Wellington College who have got this together.
I'll tell you what, there was a great crowd catch.
Yeah, it certainly was. Here we go. Noah Aliva, his father Ray is the manager of the Wellington College team. The line out throw. And secured at the front. They take it out to the backs now through Faulkner. Centre field. Oh, they cut them over through Swolga. And Cicadia Swolga offloads it. They're breaking out early here. Webster with the ball. And they've lost it, and Napier boys survived that incursion into their 22, but they're not out of the woods yet. And Charlie Harris come back for a knock-on against Wellington College.
That was a beautiful delay of the pass by Archie Sims. He took the ball to the line in 2 hands, balked to pass, and then delivered to a rampaging Cicadia Schwolger, who went through untouched, charged 30 metres, and linked with Webster, who was a very fine player for Wellington College last season. But Jimmy, there was some panic as Napier converged. There was no need to throw that pass. He would have been better advised to go to ground, recycle and reload again.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We should have went to the ground and recycled. But early days though, and I think we're looking like we're going to throw the ball around this afternoon.
Scrum has been reset there by Charlie Harris.
You'd be surprised if Lazarus didn't come back from that mistake.
Oh, he's made a steal, that guy.
So, first scrum of the match. It'll be Napier boys to feed in. Good solid forward pack here for Napier boys. Flynn Hamilton, Riley Murray, the hooker and the captain of the team. And Monty Waihape is the front row. Napier have good things mentioned on Murray, and this is a good fend, but it's a free kick because they've gone past that 1.5 metre rule that they have in first 15 rugby.
Monty Waihape is the tight head prop for Napier Boys High School. He's also an accomplished shearer. Sarah Hirani, the Black Ferns captain, she shears an average of 300 in an hour. Now that kick has mistouched, and here's a chance for Wellington College to attack through Archie Sims. He barges into McLaughlin at halfway.
Faulkner, big hit that time on Swolga. And Faulkner picks and goes, but unfortunately he's lost the ball, as that was a good tackle there by Napier Boys, and they're going to have another scrum feed.
Napier Boys have had a modest pre-season so far. They were thumped in their first game 55-5 by King's College, but Kings are 16-time Auckland champions and expected to be a leading contender this year. They also beat Southland Boys High School in pre-season 41-14. Southland were the national champions 2 years ago. Following that Kings game, Napier played Gisborne, traditional rivalry that one, and prevailed 38-15. And then Napier beat Marist from Canberra 33-21. Marist, the old school of George Gregan, the most capped Wallaby ever. And last Saturday they were beaten 33-28 by Wesley. And here's a good burst by Pere, and he's up to the 10 metre mark, Brad.
Up to the 10 metre mark, Harry Bain throws it, and that's a knock on. That time there by the captain, Riley Murray. So Wellington College will have the scrum feed. An interesting fact already, Wellington College 2 defensive scrums and free kicked, both for the same ruling again, going past that 1.5 metre. So it's just something to be mindful. They have already identified that they might have the strongest scrum in this match so far. Been impressed with this Faulkner's start so far. He's a little whippersnapper. He's already seen one break. Unfortunately he did knock that on, but he's building a nice partnership there with Archie Sims, isn't he, Jimmy?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, they've actually done a partnership for the last 3 years, since they were both year 11, and to see them come through together and now be the cohesive unit that they are.
Up goes the Gary Owen. Underneath it is Angus Lovett, and he just managed to be tackled in his own 22. Wellington College looking for the counter-ruck. They might be successful here. They are. And here goes Faulkner. Big pass out to Strickland Ready, and they've got numbers to burn, and it's going to be Shea Boshier in the corner, and Wellington College score the first try.
From that midfield scrum at halfway, Wellington College had a gaping blindside to utilise, but there was a trick tactic. They fooled Napier Boys High School with the old-fashioned Gary Owen. It was a storm in the capital yesterday, and that's a good thing to do in blustery conditions. It's not a normal tactic in the sun, but that one spiralled high and was very demanding for the Napier fullback. He got barreled by a cohort of Wellington College defenders. They pilfered the turnover, and there was a wonderful pass thrown by Strickland Reary, which bypassed 2 Napier defenders, bypassed 2 Wellington College attackers, and Boshier in the Wellington under-16s last year, probably the best finisher in the team.
Yeah, he definitely is. He definitely is one of the best finishers in the team. He is lightning quick, so if you give him a bit of space, he takes it.
Archie Sims kicked a famous conversion from that very spot against Scots College last year. They were the reigning champions, dethroned on this ground.
Fortunately, the conversion unsuccessful, and so the score will be 5-0. 6.5 minutes gone here in this traditional between these two fierce rivals. Wellington 12 Wellington titles. Napier Boys 3 Super 8 titles. What has obviously been one of the great competitions of first 15 rugby is the Super 8. Restart. Oh, awkwardly, it's been picked up well by Napier. And they're 5 out from the try line from Wellington College's end. Now they stretch it out into contact goes McLaughlin. Forensically looking, and here's a penalty for Napier Boys. Not rolling away is the call. And Murray puts the ball down. I think we might have the old-fashioned tap and run here. There he goes, Murray, the captain, fires it out, back out to Pity. And they're just short of the chalk there. Wellington College, potentially a turnover. It's been carried back into the in goal. And so it'll be a 5 metre scrum, and it will be Napier Boys that will have the scrum feed.
Wellington College had real issues here a fortnight ago retrieving kickoffs, and on that occasion they permitted the ball to bounce. The number 8 Perry swooped, and he's got startling acceleration. He was involved again in the thrust forward from the quick tap. Schwalger almost won a turnover and saved a try. Good chance here for Napier boys. Scrum right beside the post, 5 metres out. Huge blindside to work with, and the 2 Napier wingers were both part of the Hawke's Bay under-16s last year that won the Hurricanes tournament.
Fed in by Bain, off the back with Pity. Now they can stretch it out. Looks like Lovett's wearing jersey 23. We'll try and confirm that, folks. Acting halfback is Meany. Centre field directly in front of the post. Bain out to his left again. To heavy contact for Hamilton. College defence doing well at the moment to push them back. Wrapped around is Murray, but it's the arms out again for a penalty. They go out to the right hand side in the hands of Minnie, the vice captain for Napier boys. Looking around, changing again. And push back. Excellent tackle that time there by Kamoto. Will come back for the penalty. Okay for an early tackle, but Charlie Harris has turned it over, and that looks like, in particular, he might have actually not tapped it properly, and so it's going to be a scrum here for Wellington College.
That's an unforgivable mistake. Napier were building a promising attack. Now, staggering news from Kilbirnie, folks. Scots College, who were a semi-finalist in our competition last year, have lost a pre-season match to fellow semi-finalists, St Pat's Town, by 80-22. And the game was contested with Golden Oldies scrums, so seismic changes potentially in the top 4 of the Premiership this year. 5-0 here, Wellington College the first try to Shea Boshier.
Wow, an unbelievable result. Tough pre-season for Scots. Here they go, Wellington College running it out from their 22. Centre fielder Campbell, now they pass it out again. Here's Swalger, looks to break open, and they're hanging around his ankles like a rag doll. Here, boys, keeping Wellington College plugged in their 22. Now they sweat around through Webster. Now it's out to Kamoto again, supported by Tuanalu. Faulkner passes it deep to Sims, and he'll kick it downtown over halfway. He's bouncing into the hands of Lovett. He slips as he tried to cut through. Brought down by Strickland Reddy. He was a good impact player last year, was Strickland Reddy. He really came on in the second half in both games against Scots last year and made a big impact. And there are some real concerns here for the Wellington College player here in the foreground. And it looks like it might be Sakadi Schwalger, Adam.
That would be a massive blow if Wellington were to lose Schwalger, son of John, the All Black. He scored a try against Tauranga Boys College a fortnight ago, and he's a talisman in this Wellington College team. Impressive start from Webster. He didn't play the Tauranga game, but he's rangy and powerful, and he's made some useful incisions over the advantage line. There was that one blemish from that initial Schwalger break, but otherwise this Wellington College back row, Jimmy, looks very settled.
Yeah, it really does. And it's built up over the last couple of years from our under-15s and now to our first 15.
Well, the under-15 thing is interesting, Jimmy. Wellington College were in the final of the national competition a short while ago. Napier Boys High School, they might have one of the most decorated under-15 programs in the country. From 2002 to 2004, they were the national champions every year. They won 59 out of 61 games. They scored 2,666 points. And Zach Guilford and Bryn Evans were All Blacks who graduated from that program. Napier Boys High School, extraordinary rugby history. 1872 they were founded, and some of their All Blacks also include Greg Somerville, who was nicknamed Yoda.
It's not Zacchaeus, it's Cyrus.
So Cyrus Iono has been replaced.
Well, he's another key player, Jimmy. He was very strong in that Tauranga Boys game, and Brad some very rigorous displays from him last year.
There certainly was last year in particular. Strong season, 4 tries in the Wellington Premiership, so all our thoughts go out to Cyrus. Hope he makes a good recovery.
Who replaces Cyrus, Jimmy, and what do they bring?
Julius replaces Cyrus, and Julius is a great, really good scrummager as well, so he brings that to the team.
Out with Will Lovett, second 5. Now they stretch it out with the wing with Withers. And now they're 12 metres inside Wellington College territory. Ball comes out to Mini. He's wrapped up well. Good tackle by the Wellington College forwards. Still available. Centre field with Lovett, part of the leadership group in the first 15. Stretching out with O'Rourke, Harvey O'Rourke. He's big, he's strong for a centre, and he's the fastest at the school in Napier as well. Loose pass, but picked up. Lachlan in support. Centre field right on the 22 now. Napier boys enjoying some position. Good offload, comes out to Bain, who catches him down the short side. 7 away from the line now with Flynn Hamilton.
O'Shea holding on grimly, Brad. Wellington College stretched.
They're super stretched at the moment. Reaching and they go, they pick and go again. Just short of the line.
Archie Sims, a brave stop there.
And they're nearly there indeed. Battle stations at the graveyard, the try's been awarded. Try time for Napier boys.
Excellent build-up, and the impetus once again came from the number 8 Pere. He's been running like Kel Tremaine early in this one. What a beautiful surge he made to get inside Wellington territory, and once the backs were involved in the stops close to the line, you knew they were in trouble. The concrete mixes, low, hard, direct body position, and that's a richly deserved try for Napier, who after that early shock of the Beauchamp try have controlled proceedings, Jimmy.
Yeah, Napier have gone to work here. They're using their forwards really well, and it looks like it's going to be a battle of the number 8s this afternoon.
So, version attempt here for Sinatu. Played in the Saracens team of the Global Sevens ended last year, and that is a beautiful kick. And the score is 7-5. Napier ahead. 13.5 minutes gone here at Wellington College.
That Global Sevens tournament in Auckland last December is a real showcase of international talent. The Japanese woman won the competition. Braxton Sorensen McGee, this week named at Blackfern, was in the New Zealand side, beaten in the semi-final. Al O'Keefe, who played so brilliantly for the New Zealand under-20s in their 29-all draw with Australia on Thursday night. He was the player of that tournament last year, and it would be remiss not to mention Stanley Solomon, who scored a try in that game. He played 3 years of first 15 rugby on this ground very recently.
Into the 22 from the restart. Napier pleading for a penalty. It could potentially be turned over here, and it is. And Wellington College have got the ball inside Napier's 22, and they've got the penalty as well. No clear release, Harris has ruled. And so Archie Sims.
And that's another mistake off the kickoff from Napier, and also from us early on. So I think if the team ties up their kickoffs, then I think they're going to blow well.
It's very important the restarts. They've got to get them right. So this line out is 5 out from the 22 western side from the northern try line. Big opportunity here for Wellington College to strike back. Lever with the throw. We look to the front again with Kamoto. He does, but he's knocked it on. And so Napier will plug this down and look to get it out of their 22. The pass comes back. Sinatu with a flat errant kick. He did the best he could with the rampaging charge from Wellington College. And this line out's going to be 7 metres inside Napier's 22. They're not out of the woods yet, are they, Adam?
Taniela Tuinaulu is a new lock for Wellington College. He's migrated from Porirua College, and Kamoto in the cherry red headgear was in the first 15 last year. The hooker is a lever, and he's made a hash of that one, and Napier boys have a chance to clear.
And they'll get the scrum because Napier have knocked it on. So it'll be a scrum here for Wellington College. Some good news, Cyrus Iona is back on for Wellington College. Harry Baddington was the replacement prop, so helmet is back. He's got his head heavily strapped, so that is good to see. Let's have a look at this set piece. And we saw the first two scrums inside the 22, Wellington College defensive scrum. They pushed Napier back, so they've got the attacking scrum now. They'll look to try and cement a solid platform here, won't they, Jimmy?
Oh, they will. And I expect like an 8-9 move off the back here, because there's heaps of space on the right hand side.
Hiram Beetham is the tight head prop for Wellington College. He's more experienced than Napier's loose head, Flynn Hamilton. Beetham, a Wellington representative player in 2024, and the anchor of the Wellington College scrum on the tight head side. Napier Tialada, of course, the coach. He was an anchor of the first 15 in 2000, which made the national top 4 final and beat Napier 18-15, having lost an earlier game that season, 23-20. Wellington Napier, fierce rivals.
Here's Faulkner, fires it out to the back line with Sims. Loose pass, but picked up by Campbell. Gives it out to the fullback, Hewson. Can he lunge over? He's got support over in time. They're 5 out from the try line. Heavily on attack. Kamoto again. He's been a live wire so far in this game for Wellington College. A great start. Faulkner Marshalls. They pick and go off the back. Napier's turn now to batten down the hatches and try and keep Wellington College out. Just short there. The Wesley Snipes haircut. Now they stretch it out with the backs. Loose pass. Hewson. Out to Boshier. Boshier's got 2 tries. And Wellington College strike back.
There was sensational work by the forwards there. They kept picking and going, and then went out wide. The Shade has got another try.
And they do have a distinct size advantage, Brad, Wellington College, and they used that well. Very demanding, both props with ball in hand, Beetham and Iona, and that was a good finish from Boshier, because initially he pivoted inwards and then he was forced to go out and produce the left hand fend, and Lovett won't be so fond of his tackle attempt. It was rather feeble, and Boshier 2 tries already.
2 tries for Shea Boshier. He was a star last season, 5 tries in the final. He scored a beauty against Scots College in the Wellington semi-final last year. Archie Sims' conversion attempt right on their western touchline, 5 out from the 22. Sims last year, massive point scorer, 111 points in the Wellington Premiership last year. This kick is a healthy one, but unfortunately it has drifted away to the right hand side, so the score remains 10 points to 7, Jimmy.
Yeah, and I think now we need to secure it from the kickoff. So we can't let Napier back in the game.
Now that lady who politely removed her chair so Sims had more room for the conversion was rather reminiscent of the creation of this ground this morning. Jimmy, your job was to put the flags out. David Walsh came along and removed every single one and put them in the right place. Is that a hometown stitch-up or something?
I think that is definitely a hometown stitch-up there.
The restart's messy again.
All that hard work this morning and then just taken away just like that.
You've got one job, Dougal Maguire. Jimmy Lawler, he runs 4 cricket teams at Wellington College. He's the reason our scaffold tower is being built. But Jimmy, you'll be irritated with the kickoff reception. Once again, Wellington have failed to secure it, and so Napier will have a scrum 10 metres in from the terrace touchline, 35 metres out from goal.
Fed in by Napier boys. Bain back out to Sanatu. Midfield with O'Rourke hustling through. O'Rourke, he's a hard man to bring down. Big frame. Wellington College counter-up. They potentially have got the turnover. No, they have been penalised, and it's a double blast to the whistle from Harris. Maybe a bit too eager like Beavers there, Wellington College.
Harry O'Rourke with that bust. He's in year 13. It's his 3rd year in the first 15. In the email we requested for information about Napier's players before the game, it said that he can bench press 140 kilos. That means he can lift the Wellington College coach Napier Tialada.
I like to see that actually.
Squats 192. These kids these days, they just live in the gym, don't they? Here we go. That throw for Riley Murray. Harris not happy with the gap, so just instructing both markers to separate further. Murray secured that time by Prouting. They put the ball down into the drive. Wellington College are pushing them back. You can still see the ball in hand, and they wrestle out. Murray's brought down, free short of the line. They go out to the backs now. Centre field, and the man we've been talking about, O'Rourke, unfortunately knocked the ball backwards. Harris has said play on. The counter-ruck comes through. Excellent work by Reddy. It's a loose pass, knocked back. Knock on by Napier boys trying to get the pill. And just a bit scrappy in the 22, and we'll come back for a scrum, 5 inside.
Harvey O'Rourke, though, a real threat for Napier Boys High School. He's their most experienced outside back. Harry Bain at half-back, diminutive figure, jostling seriously with Bentley Faulkner, who was in that Hurricanes under-16 tournament last year, which Hawke's Bay won, something of a surprise. Hawke's Bay having not won that tournament for some time. Now this game was first won by Wellington College in 1981, 18-14. Tim Ritchie, 2,509 runs for Wellington, was the captain. Future Lower Hutt Mayor Ray Wallace played, as did the Vice President of Wellington Rugby, Richard Bowe.
Here we go, Sims. Loose pass. Oh, that's untidy. No, the 40 inflicted it in time had Potama. And unfortunately, the flag of Andre Coburg has come up. So it's going to be a line out for Napier boys.
If Potama tried any harder to retrieve that pass, he'd be halfway down the driveway towards Governor's house. That's a terrible pass from Sims. It'll be the worst moment of his season. But you could see what he was trying to do there, Jimmy. There was space, and Boshier scored 2 tries on the opposite wing, so Napier vulnerable on the flanks. And now Wellington have won the line out.
They cut open. Here they go. It's Fatalu and Bolkner. Now they're looking to speed it up. Sims out to Reddy. He dummies and goes himself. Oh, look at those dancing feet. He's 5 away from halfway. Over the top of the ball with Napier, but they're being driven off. Faulkner back out to Kamoto. They swarm around him quickly. Good offload of the tackle. Now they go out to Boshier. This is Potama. And Potama brought down 12 metres inside. 5 in from the western touchline. Strickland ready. You can just see the thermostat come up. It's been picked up there by Withers. They're still going. And it's got to be Roll Lovett. He picks up the scrap ball and scores the second try for Napier boys.
Rugby, who doesn't love it? That's a shock try for Napier Boys High School. There was a scintillating burst down the left wing side by Potama. He got ankle tapped, which meant Wellington lost momentum briefly, and then Sims opened Napier up again, and Napier looked cocked. But unfortunately, a tangle, a loose ball, a collected bounce, and Napier's second 5/8 scampers away for their second try. 10 minutes until half-time. That is the third lead change already, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's been a very, very entertaining game, this one. I think there I would have loved to see like a little kick down the field, but we're in the sun. Why not try and move the ball around? But yeah, it doesn't work like that sometimes, maybe.
Will love it. Second 5 can also play fullback as well. Second season in the first 15. Conversion successful by Sanatu, and so the score now is 14 points to 10. 10 minutes to go here at Wellington College. You can see what Wellington College are trying to do, Adam, and trying to get it out wide, but they've got to get those passes better, don't they?
Absolutely, that was not precise enough, and this Napier team do have speedy outside backs, 2 wingers from the Hawke's Bay under-16 program last year, and Sinezu looks like an accomplished player and a good goal kicker.
So Sims with the restart. Both teams have been messy at the restarts. This time Wellington College go outside the 22. Well taken, but driven back into the 22. Big hit there from the big forwards of Wellington College. Ball's fired back to Sanatu, but there's a penalty as one of the Wellington College players rushed up too quickly. They tap and run for Sanatu. Good pass out to Withers. Wrapped up there well by Otama. And they go down the short side, Napier. Picked up by Bain. O'Rourke coming in. And Napier giving Wellington College a bit of their own treatment at the breakdown. Testing more players. Good offload into the tackle. They're over the top of the ball. And they've got it! He was wrestling like a rag doll.
Bentley Faulkner.
The little fella. Maybe he's been doing a bit of squats too lately, Jimmy.
Yeah, looks like he has. And yeah, from his under 65 days, he's definitely he was even small back then. So he's learned how to do that.
That was superb technique by Bentley Faulkner. He was like one of those big garden gnomes that you struggle to move that blocks the front door to your house. What a beautiful turnover by Bentley Faulkner. And Napier, overly ambitious inside their own territory. They took the quick tap from the penalty. There were some rush passes. They got isolated, and Wellington have a line out 10 metres shy of the line.
Oh, Messi again, knocked back by Napier boys. Wellington College line out just a little bit messy at present. They look to push through, but Napier have got it secured. Now they kick it through. Sanatu looks to curve it. That's a good kick. It's just landed right on the eastern touchline, 10 metres inside their own territory. So Wellington College have to start again here, Adam.
That ball would have been caught by the winger if Jimmy hadn't put the flags in the wrong place. Now, Prouting stole that line out. He's a Hawke's Bay under-16 player, and his brother Angus was in the first 15 last year, captain of the team. And he went very close to the New Zealand scores. He actually scored a hat-trick against Gisborne Boys in the game that Napier lost. Here's clean attacking ball for Wellington, Brad.
Clean attacking ball indeed. Lazarus Webster, driven back to the 10-metre mark, centre field. Faulkner out to Sims. Here's Navrin Campbell. His dad watches from the Waikato when he's up there for work. Oh, they've got him lifted off the ground that time. There's Houston, and they got the penalty out in the direction now for Wellington College. Here goes Fali Tolu. He is going extremely well this afternoon. Into the big front of Byron Beetham. And you can hear the crowd roar when he gets his hands on the pill. Faulkner, straight up. That time there for
Good tackle, McLaughlin.
Good tackle there from McLaughlin, Adam has mentioned. Here they go again. Portama corrects through, offloads it out, and Oliva can't hang on to it. But just like that, creating some magic here at Wellington College, Jimmy, particularly around that short side.
Yeah, they are. There was acres of space there, and the boys did that really well. Yeah, I'd love to see that coming back this near side.
Otama has been very sprightly in this game, and you can see a semblance of a plan here from Wellington College. They're using Webster and Tuinalu, who are considerably bigger than most of the opposition, to punch the ball forward and get to the edge. For Wellington College, the key is to earn the right to go wide. They push the pass when they have Napier stretched.
Yeah, they do. I do think that's our game plan is to get the ball out wide, and we're playing with a lot of width. But yeah, we just need to control possession with the forwards and then go. That's not out.
Archie Sims has it for Wellington College.
Out to the back line with Bosch here. He's already got 2 tries. He's sniffing for a third. He keeps it through into the 22. And that is rolled into touch. 5 metres away. Good vision there, Adam.
Great breakout by Boshier, but I'm not certain about the kick. Although it is a good result for Wellington College, he had support looming and potentially could have carried that further with Napier backpedaling. Napier's line-out so far has been adept, but this is a challenging spot on the 5x5 in the shadow that comes from the pavilion.
Throw in by Murray. Secured well there by Prouting. And they put the charge, not contesting that time, and so they've been brought down. Still going. They're liking these pick and goes at the moment, our Napier boys. Now it's been turned over. Hand with Strickland, really. He couldn't get the pass away, but it's a penalty directly in front of the post, Adam.
It was a steal by Komoto and a very timely intervention from O'Rourke. Had Strickland Reary held that pass, he almost certainly would have distributed to two unmarked players on his left. Fortuitously for Wellington, advantage applies from a previous infraction from Sky Blue, so it's a gift penalty directly in front of the sticks, 15 metres out. Archie Sims has missed twice today, whereas Napier have slotted their two conversions, 2 tries each, 4 minutes before half time.
So Archie Sims, Faulkner just having a bit of discussion with Harris. This will be relatively routine for Sims to kick this over the post. No wind to speak of considering the amount of wind and rain we've had for the last 48 hours in the capital. And the penalty is successful eventually. The assistant referees finally put their flags up. So margin back down to 1, 14 points to 13 with just about 3.5 minutes to go in this first half.
Archie Sims' brother George plays club rugby in Auckland for Pakuranga. They're the national under-85 champions and made the Gallagher Shield final last year, beaten by Ponsonby. Sims was the leading point scorer in Auckland Premier Rugby last year. He's on the cusp of an Auckland NPC contract, so that's a wonderful result for George Sims, who was a popular player on this field. And now Napier have pilfered a third Wellington College kickoff, and they have the chance to strike back before the interval.
They certainly do. Meany goes through into the contact, and they're looking to extend their lead further if they can. Loose pass picked up by Harvey O'Rourke. Look at him go! Gets it over. Potama does well, hangs on, jumps up like Air Jordans. And now look to Sims to guide this out, but Faulkner goes for the box kick, but definitely not one of his finest kicks that time. And so Napier still hot on attack inside the 22 with a line out.
Harvey O'Rourke again scything through. He's easily been the most threatening of Napier's back line, and Potama with the leap and intercept snaffling out a certain try. Napier's line out functioning smoothly, and here's the excellent number 8. They expand further. Here's O'Rourke on the 22, left foot step, powerful fend. Strickland Reary hangs on.
And Napier boys pleading for a penalty, and they're keeping forward. Ball's been placed well. Now Bain gives it out to Geddy, the excellent number 8 for Napier. Bain goes again, gives it out to Waihapi, and driven back by his opposite number in Beefham, putting in the big hit alongside Iono. But there's an advantage being played. Harris is allowing it to proceed. Another double blast of the whistle, and he's reaching into his pocket as Charlie Harris. He did give Wellington College a warning in here inside the 22 already in this first half. Sims is arguing his point, and it's going to be Hiram Beefham that has gone to the bin for 10 minutes. And Napier have called for a scrum. Well, a minute to go in the game. Prop in the bin. Napier turning down the opportunity for a shot at goal again for the scrum here, Adam.
And they have multiple options from the scrum, with Wellington College deprived of their tight head prop. The most likely option perhaps is to hit the blind side, where Hadsey will be unmarked on the right wing, but they could go blind as well, where Sanatu is positioned. Number 8, watch for him to detach from the base potentially as well. He's been fantastic in this first half.
So Baddington has had to come on as the front row substitute. Just trying to identify. Oh, there's a kid running on the field. Dressed in green, like supporting the Irish rugby team, but he's quickly caught by his father.
I think he threw a tantrum like Johnny Sexton.
So Jimmy, who's the player that has had to leave the field for the replacement?
I couldn't actually quite see that, guys.
We'll go identify that for you soon. Pushed by Wellington College, consider the man down. Bain offloads it. Oh, this is a brilliant try! Set up by the vision of Bain. And Lovett finishes off in style.
Nick Bain, like the Simpsons action hero, prizing open Wellington College's defence, and they hit that blindside where inevitably Wellington were undermanned after the departure of Beetham. That's a significant turning point in the game. Wellington, having kicked the penalty to Sims, camped inside the Sky Blue 22. They lost the kickoff, they lost a player, and now they've lost a try, and Napier will turn with an advantage at the interval.
So Joe Jury, Sanatu, second season, first 15. His manager said that he's apparently sponsored by Dex Webs. What's that, Jimmy?
I've got no idea what that is. Never heard of that before.
It's probably some hair product or something. So, here we go. The conversion successful by Sanatu. And that is half time here, and it is Napier boys that are out to a good lead at half time, 21 points to 13. Plenty for both teams to ponder at the break, and we'll be back in 5 minutes for the second half. Welcome back to Wellington College. Half-time coming to an end. And it is Napier. They're ahead at half-time, 21 points to 13. Restarts with both teams pretty messy. But Wellington College do have a bit to work on, particularly that line-out, Adam.
Line-out has struggled, kick-off reception has been poor, and some of the passing when stretching wide haphazard. Wellington needs to work harder to earn the right to go wide. They've looked effective when they've split Napier up the middle of the ruck. They have some big ball carriers who've been demanding to tackle, and perhaps they need to be more patient initially before going wide. Here is Wellington College's first foray into Napier territory, Brad.
Houston running in that big tackle. Here's another one that knows how to tackle as well. Cyrus Ionel. He's done well. Faulkner gives it out to Swolga. Swolga wrestling forward. Hanging on to him tightly are Napier boys. He's a hard man to bring down. Here's Sims. Back out to Strickland Reddy, who's ditched the headgear, pink headgear that he had at first half. Webster runs into his opposite number in Meany.
Carlo Meany is a workhorse. He's made a pile of tackles in this game.
And here's a good break this time here by Tolu. Tolu still going, bending away, offloads it to Campbell. Houston nearly in the corner. The flag comes up. What a start for Wellington College, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, we talked about during the halftime break, didn't we? About earning the right to go wide. They did that on numerous occasions there. Build up the phases, and then with that lightning break by fella.
You teach him, Jimmy.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it looks like Harry Bain was down injured. Took a big hit from Houston into the corner.
Brilliant save too by Napier's 23. He scored the try right on the precipice of half time, and then he made that inspirational stop in the corner, undersized comparative to his opponent, body on the line, saved a certain 5 points. But Wellington, Jimmy, we talked about the need for them to earn the right to go wide and use their big runners to go up the middle. Well, the blindside flanker heeded the half-time message.
Yeah, looks like he definitely did that, and it sparked a resurgence just after half-time.
Riley Mully, I was calling him Murray in the first half, feeds the line out, which has been functioning well, particularly with McLaughlin. Riley bring it down, 6 away from their own line, and Wellington College have been penalised, this time coming through the side. And so Napier's line out, Adam, has been functioning very well. Mully, the captain's line out throwing has been outstanding, and they are really winning at this vital set piece at the moment.
Well, they've got 4 jumpers in the line-out, and in fact they've mostly employed 6 and 8 to win their line-out possession. McLaughlin, he scored the first try. He's been really impressive in this game, as has the number 8 Perry, and Minnie. He's only a diminutive open side flanker, but like his brother CJ, who was a second 5, now in the Hurricanes under-20s, very resolute in defence. But here's a chance for Wellington College. Aliva storms inside the 22.
Now they go again. Here goes Webster. Wrestling forward, and it's been turned over. Good work by Napier. Now Wellington College have got it back. It's like a pinball machine at the moment. Swolga 5 away from the line. And they're looking to score the opening try of the second half. The arms out by the looks of it from Harris. Remember, Wellington College are playing with a man down as well. All's held up over the line. Referee Harris reaching in like a forensic scientist. It comes out! And it's a try for Wellington College! And it looks like it is Archie Sims that scores the try.
And that was created by Zacadius Schwolger. He refused to submit in the tackle. He was grounded partially once, he went again. He was grounded partially again, he went again. And then there was some good pick and goes close to the line. Wellington College using that size we emphasised at the break. And then Archie Sims able to duck and slither over. 21-18, Wellington College still down Hiram Beetham. That's a key score, Jimmy.
Yeah, that's a very key score, and I think it's an old saying this, but we need to be the first team to score just after half time, because if you do that, they were still in the game. It's about that courage and that determination that this team have shown to get back into the game.
Archie Sims, fielding and a try to his name, yet to get a conversion. He's got one now. And it's back to a 1 point margin, 21 points to 20. Napier boys ahead of Wellington College. It's the perfect start Cole needed there, Jimmy.
Absolutely. As I was saying before, we needed to come out firing, and we've done that. I don't know what's at half time, but it's obviously worked.
2 years ago, Napier won this game 52-7. What a turnaround. In 1993, it was a 1 point win to Wellington College. Matthew Wilson, a 40-metre penalty on full time to win it 28-27. The kickoff was haphazard again, but Wellington College preserved. Faulkner, half volley pass for Sims. He's a study of composure, and he employs educated method, which is caught precisely by a very attractive spectator.
Well, Adam. Mully with the light out throw. Back caught well by McLaughlin. Dane has it. Hands of pity. Good offload out to Harvey. Harvey goes, but unfortunately the pass missed its target. And it has gone out into touch, and Wellington College will have a line out 11 metres away from halfway. Pavilion side of Wellington College number 1.
It's the first mistake that O'Rourke has made today. He's been very threatening for Napier boys this afternoon. Wellington College 10 out from halfway with this line out. Kamoto has fumbled the ball. Napier's Bain has it. He barges into Sims, who collected the diminutive halfback high, so Napier have advantage 40 metres out, Brad.
40 metres out, playing under advantage. And Napier looking to strike back. Still holding that 1 point lead. Kicked through by Angus Lovett into the 22. Picked up well by Tom Hewson. He's in a good game at the back for Wellington College. But the ref of Charlie Harris's whistle will come back for a penalty for a high tackle. And decision time here for Napier. They've been very reluctant to go for a penalty shot at goal. They haven't been afraid to target their line out or to even put a scrum down. This time they've kicked it into touch. The line out 15, about 20 metres away from the try line, northern end of Wellington College. Jimmy.
Funny enough, Tom's also a first 11 cricketer who's one of the quickest bowlers out there, and they first 11 won the Wellington Cup in the Gillette Cup.
Back by Kamoto, and Schwalger has a bit of a juggle, tidies it up. So Napier boys getting the line out jitters at the moment. Box kick as he slips by Faulkner. Hasn't found touch. Picked up that time there by Exie. Centre field with O'Rourke. Out to Withers. And Withers offloads it before he goes into touch, but the flag came up there. Unfortunately, got it away just in time, but not to be. So line out here just outside the 22. Governor House touchline side of Wellington College.
Good defence by Hewson and Campbell. They just showed the left wing of the sideline. He took the bait. He tried to swerve around the two opposites, but he was taken into touch. So Wellington with a line out on the 22. 1 point game. This contest has been running since 1980. Napier won 9 of the first 10. And then Wellington had a sequence where they won 8 in a row. So it's a fierce and intense rivalry over 4 decades as Baddington departs and Iono returns. Beetham, sorry?
Yes, Beetham it was. Yeah. So, Wellington College line out now. Inside the 22. Pleased for Borky, but Napier have got it. Picked up by Happy, and they're into the 22 now. Lever hanging on. The reinforcements arrive for Napier. Back out to Petty. Strong game for number 8. He'll be up there for man and match on his moment. Sanatu. Now they stretch it out the back. Here's O'Rourke crashing through. Fends off Campbell. He's only going to be 10 metres away from the line now. Sanatu at acting halfback. Gives it out to Mini. Mini cut in half by that tackle. Faulkner in there again. Afraid to get in the action is the little halfback.
It's pugnacious.
There's Sanatu again. Out to Mini. Mini cuts through! And he scored! Snuck through the tackle. And Napier strike again.
Carlo Meany, you get a gig at Trentham, he's that small. That's embarrassing defence by Wellington College. Two of the bigger players on the ground, growling, tried to grab the diminutive open side flanker. They collided with each other and Meany scurried away to the line for a popular try, and suddenly Napier lead by 26-20, and they absorbed that pressure that was thrown at them at the start of the second half, Jimmy, and they capitalised on mistakes with mainly good line-out work and some composure inside Wellington's half.
Yeah, just to show that if you make a mistake against Napier's side, they will hurt you. And they were really, really patient on attack, building up the phases, and then easily go through that gap.
Sanatu has absolutely shanked that conversion attempts. The score remains 26 points to 20.
That's his first miss, and a really ugly strike. Splat like an errant paintball.
So Wellington College comes back to halfway. Sims with a little bit of bounce to the ball. Crouching. Push up in the background. Sanatu kicks it towards our commentary station. However, cameraman's safe up there. Tamati, he saved everything. Good job, man.
So Tamani Williams, our cameraman, is brave, and he bears a similar name to a big All Black. So I wouldn't be doing that again if I was at Wellington or Napier kicker. Doing a sterling job up there, providing these pictures for Huddy Sports. 6 years old now, Brad.
6 years old, gee, how time flies, doesn't it? Knocked on by Napier at the line out. So Wellington College with a scrum, 15 in. Line inside Napier territory, Governor House side of Wellington College, number 1.
On the subject of infants, or at least small ages, Wellington College had the world's biggest 4-year-old at one point in their first 15, Nelson Asafa Solomona, born on the 29th of February. He played twice in this game in 2013, the last time Wellington won the national top 4 and indeed won the Wellington Premiership that year. Napier won the first game 32-30, and then in Palmerston North, Wellington qualified for the top 4 final in a wind-swept Arena Manawa 2, and Wes Hooson, now playing in Edinburgh, scored a try in that game.
Here's Campbell. Campbell looks for the offload, can't get it away, brought down just over the 10-metre mark. Sims, back up to Spolga. He knows only one thing, and that is to crash into the opposition. And he's still going with the ball in hand. Faulkner! His high offside player took him out, but they've still got the ball and they've got the advantage to play with. He passed for Sims to get. Sims tries to cut open. Brought down by Mini. Still playing under that advantage is Wellington College. Faulkner out to Hewson, who kicks it through. Plenty of players back there for Napier boys. Love it. Gives the ball away, and we'll come back for the penalty.
What would you go for here, guys? Would you go for the scrum or a shot at goal?
I'd kick to the line. Yeah. Even though their line out hasn't been functioning that well for Wellington College, I would still kick to the line. Six behind by 6 points.
Big blindside though there would have been from that scrum, and Boshier has 2 tries. That's a beautiful kick though by Sims, and look at those spectators on the terraces. They're excited by the prospect of a rolling maul here.
Well, let's hope so. Wellington College showed in that game against Tauranga Boys they can get their rolling maul going. Watch out. So, a lever with the throw. An important position by Wellington College, caught well by Jack Robinson. There goes that drive we were talking about. It's hit the hands there, it's got a lever there. Can he get the ball down in time? Lunges through. They've been pushed back, and it looks like it's been stolen, and it's been stolen by Carlo Mini. But no, it hasn't. It's now back with Wellington College, and they've been penalised.
Carlo Mini, extraordinary bravery there. He somehow emerged with the ball, shackled in a situation that resembled a crumbling building, and he's preserved possession for Napier and then won the penalty as well. Now Jimmy, if there had been a try scored there by Wellington College, there might have been a scandal too, given your placement of the flags this morning.
Thanks, Adam.
Napier boys running it out from the line out. 5 outside their 22. Bain, the halfback, fires it back down to Will Lovett. Taken Wellington College. Sims passing it back to Tom Hewson. Hewson decides to run it towards the 10-metre mark, gaining good metres. Napier pleading for a turnover, but it's there for Wellington College. Faulkner changing direction out to Beetham.
2 props combining nimbly there.
There's good passage of play. Now they go. Boshier, he's already got 2 tries. Can he get a third? Whip around him in the ankles, but he's found the touchline. So good defence there by Napier boys.
You mentioned Puro as a contender for man of the match. Well, he's been replaced by Mini. He's having a wow of a game. He was involved in the defence on the far side there too, proving a real menace. And one of these players that seems to get stronger as the game goes on. There was a fascinating podcast with Nick Gill, the All Blacks fitness trainer, and he was talking about Richie McCaw, and he said McCaw was one of the worst All Blacks in terms of the conventional fitness metrics, except he would get stronger in the last 20 minutes, and that was the key to his wonderful career. Now here's Napier boys with possession, 10 shy from halfway.
That man again, Mini. Now they're stretching it out. Oh, he was pleased for an accidental obstruction, but play on, said Harris. Good burst again here by McLaughlin. It's back free for the forwards. Wellington of Napier have been outstanding today. Here's Mini again. Big hit that time.
Falitolu with the rib rattler, and then another big tackle by Falitolu again on his opposite number. Napier 40 metres out.
Trying to get over the ball that time there was Falitolu. Bain trips over himself, gives it out to Mini. Mini crashes through. Oh, Rourke couldn't hang on to it. For Wellington College.
I'll tell you what,
and they'll have the scrum.
I'll tell you what, the Mini's having an outstanding game, isn't he?
He sure is. Try saver before. Try to his name as well. It's only his 3rd year in the first 15. Actually hails from Taupo. And you can see why he's part of the leadership group for Napier boys.
Well, Napier boys have 11 players in their leadership group. That's one of the more unique aspects of their team, Brad, and that either suggests to me the most impractical or pragmatic leadership arrangement of all time, or it's like that Oprah Winfrey episode where everybody gets a free car.
Sharing is caring.
Well, Carl's probably a bit of the people.
And this is a better program than Oprah. Here's Archie Sims, a cross kick for Potama.
And the pace of Boshier just couldn't get there in time. If he had more gas, he could have gone and got his third. Good vision here by Wellington College and Napier. on our 12 metres inside their own half, pavilion touchline of Wellington College number 1. Good healthy crowd here today on what is a beautiful day in the capital. Stretched out to the backs. Sanatu, crossfield kick. Bounces inconclusive. He gets around the first 2 tacklers, but it's Many again that slams him into the turf.
And McLaughlin too.
There's Faulkner over the top to Sanatu. Love it if he needs, but Sanatu decides to run. And look at those gliding legs. Tackle there by Kamoto. Nearly got over the top there was Teal, but there's a penalty there for Napier boys not rolling away. Jimmy Lauder was upset with that one.
Davey leaving his feet. Jimmy, the floor is yours. You're giving me that look. I don't like it.
I've got nothing to say, guys.
Well, this is a key part of the game here. Napier up by 6. There's 17 minutes to go, and you almost get the impression that Napier are profiting from the fact they've had more games. They look more organised in what they're doing, and they're reacting better to adverse situations. Wellington, only their second game effectively, just guilty of overplaying their hand at times, aren't they, Jimmy?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're just pushing the pass a little bit too far, I think. But yeah, as you said, Adam, this is their third preseason game. I think it's their first as a proper first 15 this week. So there's a lot to like though.
So some substitutions happening there for Wellington College. We'll get those for you soon. Here's Riley Mully, the captain. Secured well at the line out. They put the ball down into quarantine and they drive. And Wellington College trying desperately to kick them out, but this drive's going well. Still there for Napier boys, but they've been penalised. There was a player dragged down around the neck. And so Harris quick to penalise Napier. College doing extremely well to keep that drive out, Adam, because it was gaining good momentum.
Kamoto has been a disruptive presence and an abrasive tackler. Shades of Naitoa Rakoi in the way he approaches the game.
Well, line out on the 10 metre mark in front of our commentary position here at Wellington College. 26-20, Napier ahead of the home side. The game, you still get a sense to go either way. A leader. He's got a safe pair of hands. Oh, that time there. Knocked on by Fali Tolu. Else from Melbourne. The Melbourne Rebels under 18 Academy. And his father was an old boy and part of the first 15 at Wellington College.
Midfield scrum for Napier, and once again the blind side is open. They scored a try, remember, just prior to the interval, hitting that side, and so watch for that to occur again. Lovett in 23, he's been exceptional this afternoon. He's standing directly behind the scrum. O'Rourke is also positioned about 10 metres in front of our commentary area. Quiet second half for him, but he's been good.
Off the back goes Pity to Lovett. Brought down to Men's inside the 22 now. Many at the back. Wellington College penalised again for no clear release. And they tap and they go quickly. There goes Many! Runs into Sims. Bounces off him. Brought down 10 away from the line. Sanatu out to Prouting. Big wide pass out to the big man. O'Rourke. Pressures into Strickland ready. Loose ball again, picked up and bundled into touch. But it's no, it's play on is the call, so Napier still have it. Here's Many, can he go himself again?
Yeah, Tuna was right, unmarked.
Bain, back out to O'Rourke, into the hands of Hensey. He lunges towards, he's short of the line.
Archie Sims stop.
In they go. Crashing forward again. Metre short of the line now. Desperate times for Wellington College. Bain out to Many. And Angus Lovett goes himself directly in front of the post. Ball's there, it's out. And Sims has got it.
You've got to give credit to this Wellington College defence.
It's done well, but the kick there from Faulkner just lands outside the 22. And so Wellington College not out of the woods yet.
Well, this is the game Wellington College have to hang in here. If they concede next, their chances of winning are vanished. 22 line out for Napier.
Secured well again. Centre field with Mini. Sanatu driving centre field. Wellington College keeping them out. They've got the arm out and a penalty. And this is kickable for Napier. As I mentioned earlier, they've been very reluctant to have them go for shots at goal. But the kicking tee's coming out this time.
One shot in the second half missed. They will fault this from the tee in the first half. Lily has become an engineer of the backline in this most recent passage of play as well. He's been standing at first five, ushering players into the right positions, carrying hard. There's a 4 and 15 chance he's not part of the leadership group.
That'll be a straightforward kick here for Joe Jury. Sanatu. Nice hush around the ground as Sanatu. It bounces off the upright, but it's been picked up by Fergus Prouting and knocked on that time by Waihapi as well. Sometimes luck goes your way. In the case of Wellington College, it worked out that time, Jimmy.
Brad, you put the commentator's curse on there. You said that he'll
Did you put the posts in the field too, Jimmy?
the posts are brand new actually, so it's not.
They are brand new. That ping sounded like a ricochet in a Hollywood movie. And this script has 10 minutes to ride, and Wellington College swinging by a gallows pole, down by 6, but a chance to clear.
Faulkner feeds. Recycles it, gives it out centre field. Strickland really takes the ball into contact, gains an extra metre from the additional drive. Addington crashing forward, but he's isolated over the top. Napier look to try and turn it over. It looks like they have got it. No, they haven't. Harrison's moved the other way. And it's Napier that's been penalised for holding on.
Faulkner's second breakdown turnover. Napier had it initially, and then they didn't apply enough pressure at the breakdown to secure it. And Faulkner has won a vital penalty for Wellington. Baddington, that was a laboured carry. He needs to do better than that.
Kind of our commentary position in this massive scaffold tower that has been erected here for us this afternoon and for the rest of the season. Pleasure to be bringing you the home games of Wellington College here on Daily Sports live on YouTube. Cyrus Aono has been replaced after suffering a blood bin early in the game. He's continued on and played well. Jersey 17 is on there, looks like it's Tuinata, and has come on for Wellington College.
That's better from Baddington.
Centre fielder Strickland ready. Sims, big, high, lofty pass over to Houston, and Houston supported 5 metres away from the 10 metre mark. Faulkner giving it to Sims. Crash here again by Tolu. Julius Tuinata. He makes big impact when he comes on. He scored a great try against Tauranga Boys a few weeks ago. Strickland ready. Bounces off one. Still going with Strickland ready. He's well known for his aggressive play. Here goes Schwolger. He's been wrapped up well by McLaughlin. Sims. Out to Robbins, out to Teal. It's a juggle of the ball, it's gone backwards, but it's been knocked on by Wellington College. They'll be frustrating for their coaching staff.
Yeah, again, it's just forcing that pass. I would have loved him to go to ground there and recycle.
Carlo Mini involved in the defence, which led to that spillage. Strickland Reary bumped aside 2 defenders with a typically combative surge. Otherwise, he's been somewhat restrained in the second half. Wellington have tried to play more directly as a consequence of some of the haphazard errors they were making in the first half, but it hasn't really worked. Napier have been very efficient on defence. McLaughlin Perry and Mini have outplayed their opposites. There's been spasms of brilliance from Falatolu in particular, but Schwalger somewhat quiet by his typically lofty standards. But there's still 8 minutes to play and only 6 points separating 2 very good sides.
Harry Bain, they call him Mr. Fix-It in the Napier first 15. Played first 5 against Wesley a few weeks ago. Here we go, O'Rourke, to Lovett, and Withers, gives it out to Angus Lovett in time. He kicks it through, and it's been picked up well by Penny, and here goes Lovett! Lovett's going to sail under the post, and surely that will be the match winner.
Well, that's unfortunate for Wellington College. The replay illustrates a kick which took a wicked deflection and fell favourably for Pere, and he linked with the trailing player on the inside, and he has his second try of the afternoon. Wellington have essentially been anchored inside their territory, Jimmy, for the last 10 minutes, and Napier have been smothering and precise, and they deserve this 11-point lead.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they've kept us in our own half for the majority of the game. They've been pressuring us. I would have loved to have seen like a kick down inside their 22. But yeah, the wicked deflection and the fortuitous bounce of the ball, the bounce of the rugby ball getting many things. But yeah, just so happened to fall that to the hands of the number 8, Perry.
Conversion successful, 33 plays 20. 5.5 minutes to go here at Wellington College in this traditional. Lovett, the fullback. Having a great game. First game for
Kamoto has snatched the kick-off for Wellington College. Can they mount a last assault? Tomata at the 22.
Faulkner fires it out to Reddy. Sims. Good pass out to Hewson. Can he get it away to Boshier? He's just been ripped down short. 12 away from the southern try line. But Tolu again. Paddington.
There's huge numbers out.
Paddington. Rudy finds Tuimata. Tuimata met up well in that tackle. Ready again. Kicks it through, but that's easy as you like for the Napier backs. But they've got a penalty to Wellington College. Harris is running metre outside the 22, directly in front of the post, but for Wellington College they have to get tries on the board. So Sims decides to go tap and run, gives it out to Schwalger. Schwalger fends away Harry Jones. Crashing again, this time for Jack Robinson. Faulkner. Out to Falitolu again. Fired down for Napier boys. On the ground. Pass out to Hewson. He can't get it out to Bosch. He can. He's got it. He's over himself. Caps off a good game for Tom Hewson. Try time for Wellington.
He has been good, and look at this strength. He bunted aside 2 players there, including O'Rourke, who's the strongest player in the gym and the Napier team, to power over. Archie Sims' conversion, 5 metres in from the terrace touchline, 25 metres out. There's no wind to speak of. There's 4 minutes left. The deficit is 8. This is where good players separate themselves from average players. Archie has to kick this.
Important conversion for Sims. A few players in first 15 rugby achieved from the house. Try, penalty, conversion, and not goal, which he achieved in the Kingaroy Traditional against Silverstream last year. So Sims. Absolute beauty of a kick. 33 plays 28. Game on.
There's still time. Whatever happens this afternoon, Wellington College can definitely held him really, really hard.
Bring Jimmy a pacemaker.
So, Napier boys, the restart. Wellington College have been missing at the restarts. They kick it deep out to Swolga. Here we go. Bundles forward. Brought out 5 outside the 22.
Is that a high tackle by Jones?
Well, looks like he's got away from it. A little juggle there by Hewson. He's done well. Out to Faulkner. Changes direction again out to Robinson. Faulkner again finds Sims. Sims, Strickland ready. Manages to fend away. Pity.
They play a bit inside the 22 here.
Waihapi has played a whole 80 minutes for Napier.
Julius Tuimata. Crashing through. He can catch them on the short numbers. Now they press hard. There's a good run here by Wellington College. Excellent run that time there by Connor Gregor.
Notorious.
There's Sims. Going again is Robinson.
He's been huge since coming on.
Massive impact. There's Swolga again. A catalyst for Wellington College. Falitolo again. Kamoto's down in the background, not looking too good for Wellington College. Hewson, can he get another try to his name? Wrapped around quickly. Kamoto is not looking good. They might have to stop play, but it's a penalty for Napier. Holding on is the call.
Lovett scored a try in this game and he's won that turnover.
Well, lucky enough for Kamoto, it's only cramp. Big turnover that time.
I think that's it.
And that will be full time. And Napier boys hang on to the Umna Cup for another year. Well played by Napier boys. Some impressive play, particularly their back three of the scrum being Carter Pity, Carlo Mini and Ollie McLaughlin. So there's a force to be reckoned with in the Super 8 this year. Wellington College impressed by Tom Hewson. Has to be a victor, and today it is Napier boys 33 points to 28. A comment from Adam Julian.
Napier boys stay unbeaten in this fixture since 2016, but boy, they had to work hard for their success today. They capitalised off Wellington College errors from line-out and kick-off in particular, and there were a couple of classic moments, most notably from the fullback Angus Lovett, who scored 2 tries, and Carlo Mini, this diminutive, destructive open side flanker who had a blinder. He scored the try at 21-20, which was really the one that took a lot of impetus away from Wellington College, who, despite being with 14 players at the start of the second half, started so brightly with the initial try. But Napier, more games, Jimmy, and it showed in some of the key moments, just a little bit more organised in what they were doing and a little bit more composed when it counted. But a lot to like about this Wellington team, certainly more than Scots, who lost 80-22 to Town today.
Yeah, could not have a better team. But yeah, no, I think Napier overall deserved the win, and they played some really good footy, and I think it was just this crucial moment of the game that cost us. But I think we can definitely take a lot from that, and our heads held high, I reckon.
Many thanks to Jimmy Lawler and to Adam Julian, our cameraman Tamari Richards, bringing you great pictures from the top of this tower. I'm Brad Hudson. Ciao for now.
Huddy Sports, we'd like to thank our sponsors that have always been grateful to our causes here on Huddy Sports. Our first sponsor, Mike Pinfold Plumbing and Drain Laying Limited. If you need any drain laying or plumbing assistance, give Mike Pinfold a call on 027 430 4351 or Pinfold Plumbing at extra.co.nz. Louise Reddy of New Zealand Travel Brokers. If you need any travel advice, she's local here in the Hutt Valley in Petone. Call 021 135 3076. Louise Reddy, louise.reddy at nztravelbrokers.co.nz. And also to Gavin Murphy and the team at Jen Hickton Funeral Directors. They've been serving Wellington families of their funeral directoring services since 1946. So go to jenhickton.co.nz. They're all local people here in the Hutt Valley and Wellington that service our greater community. We also like to thank Ben Belushnik Visual Designs that helps with the graphics here on Huddy Sports. As here on Huddy Sports, we're always wanting to keep our content free on YouTube. So the idea of sponsors, we can promote you on live stream, our social media pages and our website. It's good to support the local community and helps keep Huddy Sport free for all to watch. So if you're interested to helping Huddy Sports, go to huddysports.co.nz or to our email address, huddysportsnz@gmail.com.